Despite all of the narratives, despite everything they've thrown at the guy, Donald Trump is experiencing an exponential power surge within the Republican Party. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 Republican presidential primary, because as most of you have probably heard for the past, 3 to 4 years now, many people have said that Donald Trump has lost his grip on the Republican Party and he somehow lost his influence that he once had, and all this crap that it's over for Trump. Well, despite all of these narratives, despite everything they've thrown at this guy, I mean, think about it. 91 indictments, they have thrown everything you could possibly throw at one guy. Despite all of that, somehow, some way, Donald Trump is quite possibly at his most influential state he has ever been before. Just think about that. That is absolutely crazy to think, but it seems like that's what's happening. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Now, I want to be 100% clear. I am not saying that 100% Trump is going to win this year, nor am I saying that his campaign has been perfect. There has been some hiccups here and there. But you cannot deny what is happening with Trump's campaign. Not even many Trump supporters thought this was even possible. He is quite possibly at his strongest point he's ever been, which is crazy in hindsight, but that's what's happening. But let's get right into it. Something shocking and telling has unfolded beyond Donald Trump's onstage, online, and courtroom theatrics. He's running a professional, well-managed, disciplined presidential campaign. Now, they're not talking about he's running a generic GOP campaign ran by clowns. That's not what they're saying, or even implying. They're talking about, hey, Trump in 2016 ran his campaign out of a basement. Here, he's not doing that. He's running a more organized campaign, which I've always criticized the Trump campaign, or I always thought it was a stupid move with what Trump was doing. Again, Trump isn't the problem. It's usually been his campaign. His campaign has never been traditional in any sense. Here, it's like, okay, we're keeping Trump, but let's run a more organized campaign where we know what's happening. We're not, whatever 2016 was. Because people forget that 2016 was a very bizarre campaign for Trump. People forget that. But either way, this is something that I have noticed. His campaign has been a more professional campaign. What's the word? I guess professional does work, but yeah. Trump will likely wrap up the nomination in record time, with almost universal GOP establishment backing. If he were to win and run the White House like he has his campaign, he could reshape America and its government more quickly and in more lasting ways than he did during his first term. And this, in my opinion, is the biggest reason that Trump needed to change his campaign. At least make it more organized. In the past, his campaign was all over the place. No one knew what the hell was happening. It was a mess. Here, it's like, all right, we got the nomination wrapped up already. We got the GOP establishment when 3 years ago they were saying, we're never going to back Trump, are now saying, we're going to back Trump. Because, funny enough, his campaign has done a good job at getting these people back in Trump's lane. And, in my opinion, they were always behind. They had a very chaotic start with a lot of people getting fired, thrown out. It was a who's up next for Attorney General, who's next for Secretary of State. It was a revolving door that never ended. And Trump wasn't able to implement much of his policy because of that. And this is what makes Trump 2024 possibly his strongest yet, his strongest form, his final form, if you want to call it that. His campaign and even his administration is being ran far better than ever. He needs to be more effective, which so far he has. Winning the nomination fast and decisively speaks only to his power with the activist GOP, which I call bullcrap on. Polling data has indicated before Iowa, before New Hampshire, hell, even after both of them, Trump is winning groups that no Republican has ever won before against Biden, or at least doing far better. Hispanics, African American, etc. He's doing better with groups that Republicans usually do awful with. And I know the exit polls showed a lot of quote-unquote Republicans wouldn't vote for him. But here's the problem. That exit poll out of New Hampshire included Haley voters that are majority Democrat or quote-unquote independent. Yeah. It included voters that, one, are already left of the country. I mean, independents in New Hampshire are far more liberal than the rest of America. And number two, those voters would never vote Republican anyways. So it's like, you cannot take some of these exit polls at face value when you have that many Democrats voting. We know probably 70% of Haley's support came from those voters that we know would never vote Republican. Many top Republicans assumed that after the Capitol riot, no one sensible would go near him. The Trump campaign would be fringe and cringe. Instead, Trump has rolled up the party even tighter than he did when he was president. Now, maybe I wouldn't go that far that the party is as united as, say, 2020 behind him, but I think they're talking about the party establishment. They are more willing to help Trump, not just, oh, I support him. Maybe that's what they mean, but either way, it's one of those things where his campaign is a miracle that it's even happening. Because like this says, many Republicans were like, this clown is gone. We're free of him. There's no way anyone would support him. Well, that didn't work. That did not go to plan at all. Now, the GOP's biggest donors and power brokers not only figure he'll quickly become the nominee, they assumed he'd beat Biden if the expected rematch comes to pass. Which I don't think they've ever said this. Even back in 2020, everyone thought, oh, Trump is done. He's going to get killed. There's no way he's going to even win Florida. He's not going to win North Carolina. There's no way. Well, he came very close to winning. Trump is the strongest politically that he's ever been within his party, which is nuts to say, but it's not wrong. He has the base. I'm talking about actual Republican voters, not what Nikki Haley is doing. He's united with them. The party establishment, the big donors, are like, you know what? This is Trump's party. We just have to get behind him. Trump has surrounded himself with pros, but he's still Trump, aka very chaotic messenger. Now, Trump has always had the problem of trusting the wrong people. But this time around, it seems like he got people that understand what they're doing. That understand, hey, let Trump be Trump, but we still got to actually have a campaign. We can't just rely on Trump being Trump the entire cycle. I mean, they have been on top of everything, whether it was the indictments, whether it was the ballot stuff with Maine and Colorado. They were on the ball every single time. And that's the biggest thing that's different from now than 2020. His campaign is, in fact, ahead of the curve now. They're not running from behind. They're running ahead of everyone. So it's one of those things where you combine all of this and you realize this is Trump at his final form. Sure, it's not as energetic as 2016. It's still charismatic, but, it's not as, Trump 2016 levels for, at least on the energy scale. He is a bit older. But when it comes to what Trump's talking about on policy, what he's talking about as the campaign trail, what his campaign is doing, what's happening with the indictments, everything. This is Trump at his final form. This is it. This is his final chance of winning a second term. In fact, winning anything. In fact, he is running to stay out of jail. So you just combine all of this, and yeah, this is a power surge I don't think we have ever seen before. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Wrap out.